Therapy saved my life.
Blah, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama, or maybe hide from your baby mama. Aha! Just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Cha-ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a book out on Amazon. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to 5 adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And today we have a very special guest who is one of the biggest hosts in Las Vegas, in the world. Not only that, she does real estate. Give it up for the one and only Lia. Woo!
What's up, y'all? How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. It's an honor. You don't understand. Like I've seen your work. I've seen what you've done, and it's amazing how you're consistent, getting all these big fighters. And I see you're entertaining them, asking questions. They're like, they're not ready. They're shocked. They're like, dang, keep their homework, you know? So it's really good. I do want to say real quick, before we jump into you, right? I want to share a little bit about how was our week. So something that happened to me real funny. I came to, Arizona with my best friend, and then we went to this restaurant here in Vegas, Netflix Bites. Have you been there before?
Mm-mm.
So it's dope. It's a dope restaurant at the MGM, and we're dressed up as the Squid Games. And basically, they're like, everything you order is from the Netflix show, One Piece, what's it called, Squid Games, and it's so cool. So there's like a spinning wheel where if it lands on red, you have to eat the hottest chicken wing sauce what they have, and it's fire. It's so fire. Or if you get yellow, it's mild. But it was so fun because when we got there, we're waiting in line. People actually thought we worked there. They're like, "Hey, do you guys open today?" And we're like, "Yo, we don't work here. We're waiting too." You know what I'm saying? And but it was so nice because the people there, even the managers, they treat us so nice. They actually gave us more appetizers than we order. They're like, hey, put that in the camera. Like we see you guys are doing this for like a video or TikTok. So it was so nice, like the hospitality. It was like a fun time, but that's something I wanted to share. And then what about you? Anything that happened to you this week or this weekend?
You know, I feel like I've always got crazy stories or something somewhat memorable. Um, it was just another week, I'm doing these interviews. I'm still doing all the things with real estate. So I think the coolest thing that's happened, and I wouldn't say just this last week, but within the past few weeks, has been meeting so many like cool people. I gotta contain my fangirldom because if I see a celebrity out in public, I'm not about to jump up and down and get up in their face and ask for a picture and an autograph and all that good stuff. But really, I have met some really cool people and made some very um, just unique connections that, people see what you're doing, right? So, they see that you're videoing food and they want to kind of like go into it and help you out a little bit. So, on the other side is, I'm meeting people and they're like, oh, hey, oh, you're doing this. Let me see how I can help you. So, I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to jinx myself, but some of the connections that I have made within the past, specifically like the past 2 weeks, I think are really going to help me moving forward with my interviews and kind of my little personality show that I've got going on. So I'm excited about that.
That's amazing. I'm so happy, you got to share that. And like I said, tonight's about you. So please, if you could spill the beans, maybe not the cheese, but we would love to hear a little bit about your background. Like, if you were born and raised in Vegas, give us a little bit, and then like what got you into these like interviews that did someone like spark the idea? If you can share that, that'll mean a lot. You know what I'm saying?
um, so I'm definitely a sharer. I want people to take, I don't want to say this to sound rude. I want people to take advantage of their environment and where they're at and who they're surrounded by. So I'm actually in West Virginia. I'm not in Vegas.
Oh, you got me right there with the
Mm,
right hook. I was like, yo,
mm,
I think
mm,
because of the time
mm.
zone. My bad. I thought the time zone. I thought we were in the same.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. I had to do the math when we scheduled this. I was like, 12 o'clock. Okay, it's Pacific, Eastern.
I'm so sorry. I'm saying.
No, you have nothing to apologize for. But I'm used to it. So, sometimes I'll schedule interviews and I see that they're on Pacific or Central, or I have interviewed people who are in like the Russia area or Belgium or over yonder. So like time differences are I'm getting familiar with them. So yeah, I'm actually from Arizona. I was born in Tucson, Arizona. And then when I was 6 years old, my mom passed away. And so my dad brought me and my brother here to West Virginia, and I have been here ever since. So when people ask me where I'm from, it depends on the person and in the situation, because I'm from Arizona. But if it's someone here locally that's like, oh, are you from West Virginia? If I don't want to go into the full blown story, I just say, yeah, I'm from West Virginia. Because a lot of people ask me where I'm from. I don't know how you would. I guess it depends on the person because of how I look. They're like, oh, this girl she doesn't look like a natural West Virginian. And I'm not, but that's typically one reason why people ask me that until they hear me talk. And then they're like, oh, she's from West Virginia. And I'm like, no, don't say that. I'm from Arizona.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I've been in West Virginia since 97. Um, me and my brother grew up here, played sports. I played soccer and I threw discus and track for a long time. Um, Went to West Virginia State University for business marketing, got my bachelor's in that, and somehow, some way, I ended up in real estate, which the story that I will share for how I started real estate, it's crazy how full circle it is in comparison to how I started doing these interviews with athletes. So I was working full time in the marketing world. I worked retail for a really long time. I was in management and I worked for different stores and retail. I like connections with people. So I did that with retail. Retail. Get your words right, Leah. Um, and so I got to a point, I got laid off from the position I was working at within a pharmacy. Um, no love lost. It was fine. And I knew it was coming, and I had to like hug the owner of the business and was like, I'm not mad at you. It's fine. I'm on a sinking ship, and if you got to cut some weight, I get it. I'm a lot of weight as far as my income. So, um, some friends of mine were looking into the investment side of real estate and like flipping houses. And they were like, we need a full-time realtor on our team. I was like, okay, sounds cool, whatever. Like, nah, 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 nah. Sales, yada yada. Not, it wasn't something that I was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be in real estate. I want to become a realtor. I think that sounds so cool. I was just kind of like, like whatever. And one of them finally looked at me and he said, Leah, if you don't get your real estate license, I'm gonna get it. And I was like, sign me up. So I got my real estate license. I got my real estate license in May of 2018. I was laid off from my full-time job November of 2018. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go full time with real estate and call it a day. Here I am almost 7 years later, still in real estate, just making a living for myself. Um, I own 3 properties. Technically, I own 2 properties, but 3 doors. I own a duplex, and then I own a single family home, which to me doesn't sound like a lot since I've been in real estate for so long. Um, but you know, I'm 34. I'm a young 34, and a lot of people are, you know, not everyone understands real estate or has the inkling to purchase or, you know, become a property owner or a landlord. So that's one hat. You know, I've got my real estate realtor salesperson hat. I've got my landlord hat. Um, I wear all sorts of hats. So there's that. I have been in real estate ever since. I love the company that I work for. My broker is very near and dear to my heart and has supported me since before I even got my license. So shout out to Josh McGrath. That is my saving grace. And then fast forward to November of 2024, which was just a second ago. And I love social media. I just think it's funny, you know? Like, I like to laugh. I also like to cry because sometimes there's stuff on there that I just be crying for no reason. But I saw a meme or a little GIF, whatever you want to call it, a little whatever. And I didn't even realize whose page it was on. I just reposted it to my Instagram story and I tagged my brother because it was about like a brother beating up a sister.
Oh,
And it was like the mom tells you to watch your sibling and then you end up like beating them up, which was definitely me and my brother. Man, anytime someone's like, have you ever been in a fight? And I'm like, if you count getting beat up by my brother for my entire life, then yes. Yes. So I tagged him, got that, and then lo and behold, the company whose page or you know the page it was on messages me and was like, haha, thanks for the share. Would you ever be interested in interviewing athletes for content and, you know, for your platform? And I was like, yeah, like, what do you mean? I have been watching UFC specifically since about 2012, 2013. I've always just been a fan. I've been to, I think, 14 UFC events. I've traveled all over the US. I've been to New York 3 times. I've been to Vegas, I think 4 times, 3 or 4 times. I've been to Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been to Pittsburgh, Chicago, Tampa, Orlando, Boston. Um, I've been everywhere for UFC. And so when these guys messaged me, and I say guys, I don't think there's any females there. So if there are, I apologize. These guys messaged me and were like, let's hop on a call and go over like what we do and what this is. So that was like the middle of November of 2024, and it is already March 1st. I have accomplished 36 interviews so far. I have met professional boxers. I have met UFC vets and current UFC fighters. I have met the karate combat people. I have met, you know, anything and everything in between, like as far as leagues and organizations. And it is just like so surreal to me because little old Leah from West Virginia or Arizona, depending on who, when you ask or who asks, is getting to meet and like hold conversations with people that I'm a fan of, you know, and I'm also human. So, like, I don't want people to feel Uh, I want people to feel important, you know? I want people to feel like their time and their energy is being valued because I get that coming from a business standpoint. But also like when I see that I'm interviewing certain people, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go like scream outside real quick and then pull it all together to be like,
Right.
let's go. This is business. Um, so yeah, that's the long story short, I guess, as to where I came from and where I'm at now. So yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful. You definitely shared a wonderful story. I like the fact that you explain about, your brothers, right? How you guys have that like love relationship, but you guys, every siblings, they're gonna fight and still be like really tight. The fact that you've done so much with the interviews, like I seen how you do it, and I was like, yo, no lie, when I thought you were in Vegas, like you lived here, I was like, yo, I gotta tell her this, but it'd be really cool for her to do an interview on. And I honestly have a great idea because you've done so many of the sports. I think it'd be cool if you interview someone at Power Slap.
Oh, I'm already working on it.
And your boy, here's the thing, your boy actually has the most podcast interviews of all Power Slap in any platform. Like I have the highest. Like so, if you want, I got you. Your boy got a lot of connections. I'm actually crazy story. We're actually gonna have a little hangout this Tuesday with one of the fighters who's gonna fight this main event this Friday. And I'm really excited. He's coming, to meet my other friends, and it's cool because what I do that's very different in interviews is that I ask questions that they have never been asked about. Like for example, I never asked really about like how many knockouts you got, how many KOs, or because they always get that in all the media. So I said, let me stand out. Watch this. You're gonna love this. So what I do is anything that they share with me, I kind of hit those points, but like deep. So like I had one fighter, he shared about something that he was struggling mentally, and I kind of opened that door a little bit, and he shared it. Growing up, the struggle, falling into whether it be, I don't know, in a toxic relationship, or maybe it could be drugs or alcohol, and then it got him away, and then he got back, something like that. And he was like, that most of them, they're all like, I've never been asked this kind of deep question. Like, I don't know how you got me to say it, like to pull it out of me. Like, and I had some that they will like either cry or a tear might drop. And you could tell they're getting a little emotional. And I tell them this, what we have is supposed to be like a conversation where I want you to be free. I want you to think of it like I'm like your counselor in a way. It's okay to be open and not having to hide your true self because we all battle something, whether it be, I don't know, relationship, it could be, food, it don't matter. But at the end of the day, we all have something in common and we're all trying to find that, you know, I don't know, the truth or that inner peace that we need, right? Inside.
Yeah.
And that's something that they love about is that I like to get to the core. So that's something I wanted to share with you.
So all that to say that you have had many conversations and you have a nice network of the power slap people because you were saying that you are having an event Tuesday or the event coming up Friday. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, you got to build that connection where people remember you and they want to say like, "Yeah, I had a really good conversation," versus just, "Oh yeah, I was interviewed and whatever," you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, literally, if you lived in Vegas, well, the next time we'll do this. We'll do this too. The next time there's a power sap match, I want you to come, fly out here. If you need to bring your boo, bring him. The thing is, like for example, this Thursday night they're having an after party, like a party for Power Slap right before the match on Friday. So that would have been a nice way. And I know you, I could already tell you're a good talker. I'd be like, yo, girl, come over here. I gotta introduce you. And it'd be nice because they already know me for so long that, and I'm not gonna lie, you knowing a lot about UFC, they're like cousins in a way because they both
Yep.
work out in the same gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think it'd be really cool. The next time you come, the next match, you have to come in Vegas. Let me know, and we'll definitely like make it a way where we can network and have you meet them and stuff like that. You already got a lot of power, so you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of experience. But I think it'd be real nice because I'm always looking to help us, like us, like I feel like you're doing great things, changing the world. We came to this world to help each other. So I'm really for it. So I just wanted to, share that.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you, thank you. Now, one thing I wanted to touch, if that's okay, like something
Of
that I felt
course.
like when I was hearing your story, and it's okay if you don't feel comfortable sharing, it's okay. But I want to ask, because I'm curious, how old were you when you lost your mom?
I was 6.
You were 6. Wow. And did
Mm-hmm.
you, like, do you have any little memories at those times when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm. I am now the same age that my mom was when she passed.
Wow.
So just this in 2024, I turned 34 and she was 34 when she passed. So it's been a very full circle, but I have my moments of sadness and grief because that's never gone away. But um, like when I talk to my brother about it, because that's my best friend, and of course he understands because we've lived in the same household and the same family. He's like, Leah, it's such a blessing that you are 34, and you are now living the years that she didn't get to see, which makes me feel a little bit better, but at the same time, I can't help but be sad.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I was young. I was very young. I have very specific memories with her, but then there is a lot, and my fellow like trauma buddies would understand, like when you go through something like that, especially at an age where your brain is literally just a sponge. um there's a lot of stuff I don't remember, like from 6, well really from age 2 to like 18. And it wasn't until, I mean, I'm 34, I think I was 27 before I actually saw a therapist. And it got to the point where I was like, I can't contain these emotions anymore and I don't know what to do with them. And I was like, I should go to therapy. And I tell anybody, man, woman, child, whoever, therapy saved my life. Sometimes we go through things that build up a lot of emotions in us. Doesn't matter if it's good, bad, sad, happy, angry, frustrated, whatever those emotions are, and going and sitting with somebody who is a professional, unbiased. They don't know the difference between brothers, sisters, families. They don't, they are fully unbiased. Really changed my life, and I'm not as active in therapy as I would like to be. Um, but I do have a therapist who's actually not in West Virginia anymore, and he got me through some of the harder parts in my adult life, relationships, hardships, things like that. That again, I don't think I could have just called up my bestie and been like, oh my God, listen to this, and felt like I accomplished something from that conversation. Speaking to a professional in a safe space, unbiased, is what really helped me. And I think it led me to the point of where I'm at. I don't think it did. It led me to where I'm at right now and who I am and how I speak and the relationships that I have now, because I'm so much more emotionally and mentally intelligent from the therapy, not just, watching YouTube or just like reading books. Yes, you can do all of that. If you combine it, you can become a powerhouse. And I have read books and I have listened to podcasts and YouTube videos and things like that. But having that actual real life person interaction um, saved my life. And going through a lot of traumas, not just losing my mom. That was the tip of the mountain, right? I've lost so many other family members. I had a best friend commit suicide. I've been in traumatizing relationships. I've had difficulties with finances. So all of those things, they can snowball and lead to a very unhealthy person. Um, I won't sit here and say that I'm like the healthiest, best person in all of the world, but I have an understanding and I can play devil's advocate for the good things and the bad things and for people's perspectives and, this side versus that side. Um, which I think is all of that to say that stems from that one specific event of losing my mom at such a young age, and it has just went throughout my entire life, you know.
Wow. It's amazing how you brought up therapy, right? I'm a big advocate. I have a therapist too. I ain't gonna lie, girl. I'm proud to say it because I'm with you. I feel like there's things like me growing up, right? I had a lot of anger issues when I was a kid because my father left a picture. He didn't want me in his life, and it hurt me because everything I did, I wanted to make him proud, and he never came. So like this stuff just build up, and it's crazy because there's so many things I'm just like him. Like it's crazy. Like my dad was what's it called? He was a martial arts instructor for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
He was a car salesman. Then he moved up the ladder, and it's crazy because I actually did martial arts, MMA, and like I've become an instructor, and I've always wanted to show him like, yo, pops, this is what I could do. Look, I'm trying to be like you. And my dad was good in sales. I'm like really good in my company. I'm really good at sales, like top. And like I learned, it's crazy. I have the same gift as him. It's like even though we didn't really like, he never taught me nothing like these things that I wish a father could teach me. I had to learn by myself, right? But when I went to therapy, it's funny because I had like this my seafood, right? Who's my one of my great friends, Alvin Cardona. I was like, yo, I think I need help mentally. He goes, what's wrong, man? You've been kicking that bag real hard, you know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, but I think I got something wrong. Like, I think I really need help. Like, I feel it. And he's like, you know what? I know somebody who's actually a therapist in our school. His name is Frank. I think he'll take care of you. And Frank was actually my coach. So I was like, I didn't know he was a therapist. Like his background, he took psychology. So it's crazy that Frank, outside of class, he would take the time to be my therapist. And anytime my mom and I will have a fight, right? Like I got mad and we just got into it, which is normal as kids. My mom would actually drop me off to Frank. She's like, I don't have time to hear your what you're gonna say. I'm gonna drop you off to Frank. You'll feel better. And actually, when I was dropped off to Frank, my therapist, my coach too, my friend, he was like, "What's wrong, man?" I said, man, Frank, I'm mad. My mom dropped me off here. And, I like hanging out with you, but man, I can't believe she dropped me off here. And it's funny, I'm like venting to him, right? I'm like letting it all out. He said, how do you feel now? I said, man, I feel better. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I forgot about it. Like, I feel like I'm back to normal. He's like, maybe that's what you needed. You just needed someone to listen. And it's crazy because, I'm grateful for my mom to like be an advocate for it. I think in the Latino culture, we're so against getting help
Yep.
from our kids. We feel like, oh, you got a problem, just suck it up, move on, probably eat some ice cream, you'll feel better. You know what I'm saying? Watch a telenovela, you'll be okay. Don't
Mm-hmm.
worry.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't work like that. So I'm very grateful to hear, your side of the story, how it's helped you.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Tough, but it's good.
Well, look, Leah, I'm so grateful you're here. It looks like Zoom about to kick me out, but I'm very grateful to have you, guys. This is the Outlet to Reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching! Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat's Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And Leah, where can my fans find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. My username is liadorchinez. You can find me on millions.co. That is where all of my interviews and content are frequently posted to. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Those are my two safe spaces. Facebook's a thing, but I like Instagram and my millions page.